Yeah. So I started, and when I was starting this and saying I can't ever do this, the first streams that I opened up, and this was even before the day I actually chatted for the first time. First time I ever chatted was in Melissa Lamb's stream. Chad gifted me a sub. But for days leading up to that, I was watching streams just on the Discovery page. And at the top of the page was Autopilot, a couple streams, Venus Worlds. And I'd been opening up those, taking a look at all those streams. And I was like, wow. Seeing the setup, seeing the transitions. I didn't even know what OBS was when I started. I was streaming from a cell phone. And opening that up, and you're just looking at yourself. You're like, I will never be able to do that. I can't do this alone, over and over. Just saying that to myself. And then remembering those many years that I told myself I would never be able to write my own album. I would never be able to produce my own album. I'd never be able to have a show with anybody who would attend because I'm too boring to watch. Jay remembers the cell phone in the Pringles can. I had a very fancy tripod at the time. And so I'd opened up Ordo's stream, and I was like, wow, and Marbles, and the way he was engaging and being able to run polls for song requests and stuff. I was like, wow, this is crazy good. And a couple streams, watching them, and they'd been sharing their gear list too, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness some people are sharing what it is they're doing and noticing that every single person had a completely different setup. It's like we're all just scrambling, trying to plug in whatever we have at home and make it work. Except a couple streams had all of these tutorials. And they were like, hey, look at all these tutorials for setting up Reaper and being able to put a DAW. And being able to put all your sound through a DAW into broadcasting. And they sounded glorious. And then I'm learning that Travis is like an engineer. And I'm looking at their gear list and it's like, oh, well, I can't possibly buy this microphone that makes Ali sound so phenomenal because they literally built it. And I'm sitting at home crying. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't build my own microphone. So what am I going to do? I'm not an audio engineer. I don't even know how a DAW works. How am I going to do any of this? And every single one of you supported me so much through this crazy journey. To a point where we had a Monday morning stream. Started at 6 a.m. Streamed straight with no breaks for 7.5 hours. Met Cause that day on our front page stream. It was the craziest day of my life. That day we were interviewed for the New York Times. And in the New York Times, I was like, that's crazy because we're featured along people like a couple streams. Like Matt, K. Heafy, and I'm reading through this article and I'm like, I can't even believe. Like, I'm completely starstruck just seeing a couple streams live, let alone being featured in an article next to them. So Friday, I open up my email just at the end of our incredible, we had show and tell night, so everybody just came, we hung out at the Dino's Corner Bar on Discord, we had the chance to see faces for the first time, we learned so many cool things about everybody, and it just felt like a really beautiful day. And at the end of that, I'm checking my email, and I've got a message in my inbox from Travis from a couple streams, and it says, hey Danielle, so we really like your stream, and we were just wondering if we could endorse you and send you a hand-built microphone. And the microphone is called the Michael. And then on Saturday night, they spent the stream building a microphone that is now in the mail. And so sometimes you gotta look back and you gotta slow down for a second. And you've got to just be gentle with yourself and say, you know what, you're doing okay. because it's really good. And it's really easy to just tell yourself that you're garbage all the time. Dunder, that was my first thought. I actually thought of Michael Scott first before I realized that it was called the Michael because it's a mic. I thought of you and I thought of The Office before I thought of the fact that it's called a mic. Yeah. So that was news that I've been holding in. Because it's completely crazy to me. And I had a good cry a couple of times on Saturday of just, when you're thinking about aha moments, it's just stop telling yourself that you'll never do the thing. Stop telling yourself that you're not good enough. Everything that I do just comes with time and practice. Even all the things that we're doing, like we're spending 12 to 16 hours a week playing music minimum. That's crazy. I've never been able to have that amount of time that I've been able to practice. So it comes with time. You want to sing? Just sing every day. It'll take a couple of years for all those muscles to develop, but that's fine. You want to do it? Do it. So to everybody who's made this happen, to everybody who's helped, and I'm so happy that Zach's here because and Bobby and people who have helped me get Ableton set up, because that's the only reason why any of this is happening. It started with a podcasting pack so that I could afford the microphone and the headphones together. I got a pretty sweet discount on both. I waited weeks and weeks and weeks for it to come in the mail because I was trying to save as much money as possible. And then things like this happen. So, thank you. Because I still can't really, I can't really believe any of this is happening. Ryan, hey, I wasn't expecting to. I wasn't expecting that. Dermo, no way. I couldn't even believe it. And when I got that email, and it's just like that email from the New York Times, I'm like, this is spam. It's like somebody has stolen Travis's identity and they're trying to email me. I should warn a couple streams immediately that their identity is being stolen and some strange person is offering me a microphone. So all those years ago, I told myself that I would never be able to do this. So stop telling yourself that.